So, you just downloaded Sea of Thieves, and you just load up your first game on a ship of your choice. Today I'm using the sloop as a demonstration, and I'll walk you through how to play the game. So, you just spawned in the tavern, right? You're going to end up here. What you want to do is you want to walk outside, and you're going to have this open area. There's probably going to be a dock somewhere on the island. This is where you'll be selling most of the loot you collect. There are multiple outposts across the map. The one you spawn at is normally the one you'll be selling at most, because that's the one where most of your quests will be taking place at. So, first, how to get quests. You can either get them from skeletons that you find on various islands that have a chance of spawning. However, it's not a perfect method, as it relies on the skeleton to actually spawn. The best option you have is to get a quest from people like the gold hoarders, which you will open up and you'll have a bunch of quests on the bottom that you can buy. Most of them, when you start off the game, will be free. And as you go, you can upgrade this right here, and it will cause these to cost more, but you'll get more for each quest. You have to level up. Right now, I am level 19. Once I get to 20, I can get a new title for this gold hoarders. So you have the gold hoarders. You have these guys over here that I totally remember the name of, Order of Souls. You can get quests from them. It depends on who you're working with. If you have a lot of people, it's good to work on Order of Souls because there's more skeletons. But if you have a small crew, Gold Hoarders is normally best because it just relies on you to go find chests hidden in the ground. There's one more, and this is the Merchants. Now the Merchants is something that you can just do. However, it's really weird on how it works. I never really do it. So this one, don't really recommend doing right away, just because it's weird on how it works. So when you get a quest, most of the time they will either be maps. For the gold hoarders, there will be maps, or you can get a poem, you could say, and it will give you the title of the island you need to go to. Order of Souls I'm not going to get into right now, but when you do, you'll get a map, and they'll pop up in your quest section, where you can get your tools, open up quests, and you'll find the quest. Now, I have some purchased from them. If I want, I can show you how to purchase them. So you can open this, and you can buy a quest, right? And it'll give you the quest. And those things will automatically refill, so you'll never run out of quests to do. You can buy multiple at a time, too, so you can do multiple quests before you sell. However, as you get later into the game, I do recommend selling before you do another quest. So you can propose a quest. Right here, there'll be a table. You can propose a quest in the Voyages section. We'll do this one. Your team will vote for one, and then once it gets majority vote, you'll do the quest. You can open this, and now this is a poem quest. It'll tell you Crook's Hollow. So you go find Crook's Hollow on your map, and normally it's going to be close to your outpost. Sometimes not so much though. So Crook's outpost, let me find it. Crook's Hollow, right here. Boom. See, not that far away. I mean, it is. And the map is pretty huge. It will try to keep you close to wherever you start the quest at. So, what you want to do is you want to click on it, and that will just give you a circle. And what you can do is you'll see the ship on the bottom left. What you want to do is you want to turn the ship. So if you're by chance steering the ship, you can look over the edge right here, look at the ship and its orientation. You want it to be pointed at the location that you want to go, if that makes sense. So once you've completed a quest and you have some gold on hand, you can adjust your character and also its equipment to look very unique. For example, here's my shovel. This is not the standard shovel. You can get those from here. You can upgrade your equipment right here. You can select the equipment you have. So here's a normal shovel. Here's the one I have. You can purchase your equipment from this guy inside, and it will give you everything. You can sort it by what you want to get. I highly recommend getting the shovel and the bucket first and the compass, but that's completely up to you. There's different sets of stuff, so I'm using the Admiral stuff, but as you go later into the game, you can use a little bit more of a unique set of armor and equipment, such as the Sovereign stuff. Or even later in the game, there's some other crits out there.
Stay lucky.
Once you get that, you can also purchase clothing. Right here, you can adjust your clothing outside the shop. You can also purchase your equipment from the guy inside. And there's sets of stuff. So if you want a specific hat from a specific group, there's a Admiral hat, right? I'm currently using an Admiral hat as well. There's a Grand Admiral hat, of course. So there's kits that you can get. So let's say I want the Admiral hook, right? Which I don't actually have. You can get that right here. So there's that.
Alright.
Your weapon stuff. I don't actually have too much of this, but you can purchase weapons. There's an Admiral kit, of course. But as you get later in the game, again, you'll have more expensive stuff that also look pretty neat, like the Sovereign stuff, which is actually pretty cool. I might actually be tempted to get this. It's pretty cool. But yeah, and of course you can purchase stuff with doubloons, which I'm not 100% sure on how to get. You just gotta sell stuff to this person up here, and it's a very specific stuff that you can sell. And what you can use with doubloons is you can either purchase gold, or letters of recommendation, which will increase your level with the group that you are working with. So if I want to increase my recommendation slash experience with the gold hoarders, you can purchase this. There's the culinary stuff, which I'm not sure what that is. Formal recommendation and all of that. This is Order of Souls. This is Merchant Alliance, and this is something else. This is a specific other thing. You can get voyages from this as well, and these things sell for a lot of gold actually. You can get this. You can purchase this. So yeah. Now, how do you want to set sail? This is another thing. So your ship won't look like this at start. You can customize your ship with the free stuff you get when you start the game. It'll look like this. I'm currently using this. This is something you can get when you start a game. But of course, if you want, you can purchase more stuff from this person here.
I'm here for you.
Ship customization will customize the exterior ship like your hull. Right? And then you can also customize your cannons, all of that. Everything can be customized. But you of course have to level up. That is another thing. So, sovereign stuff. You gotta level up. So there's some stuff that you do need to do to level up. Now, let's actually show you how to set sail. So first thing you want to do is either you can lower your sails if you're facing out into open water, or you can raise your anchor. So if you're not facing the direction you want to go, raise your anchor first, right? Turn the wheel just ever so slightly so you start to turn a little bit. Lower the sails, and you're going to start moving forward. Ta-da! And then once you're out in the open, you can start to turn a bit. So we're going to take the long way around this island, I believe. But that's completely fine, as you all just end up going to the same spot anyway. Now you'll notice a wind direction. This wind direction will push your sail in a very specific way. And you want to anchor your sails using this. Now of course the wind is blowing in a direction that's completely unfavorable. So once you get in the direction you want to go, then you can start to angle it. But I would say wait until you are going the specific direction you want to go. So notice we are a little bit too far facing to the east. So we need to go a little bit more north. So you're going to turn just a lever so slightly. And you're going to keep an eye on this. Right, so we need to be going mostly completely northeast. So you're going to turn this until you're going 100% northeast. Sometimes you can do it a little bit short if there is an island in the way, which there is. And ta-da, you're on your way. Now, the wind. You can anchor your sails using this back here. And sometimes if the wind is not favorable, you won't get a solid push with it. But if you wanted one, I can show you. You can just turn your wheel if it's not favorable. And this will give you a little bit extra speed, but it may also just cost you a little bit. So right now I can't get this wind to hook, but if I can show you how to do it, you can get the wind to push your sail. Should be popping up right now. That is max speed. But of course we're no longer going the right direction, so we're going to turn ourselves a bit until we are. And this will drop again. So that's how the sail works, right? The sail will push and pull depending on the direction. If it's pushing that way, the wind is pushing it that way, and you're going to go slower. If you can get it to go like this, that's pretty good. If you can get it to really get pushed by the wind, you're doing even better. So of course we're now going to Crook's Hollow, and what you want is you'll look at this, and it won't tell you, and also you get notifications every time you show up at an island. This is Paradise Spring, which you can see is right there on the bottom. Crook's Hollow is there, and we are pretty close now. As you can see, that is the island right there. Now, of course, this line, it's got 2 hidden lines. See, we just caught the wind there. You can hear, and then we didn't catch it. You can hear when this thing catches wind. So the bottom 2 lines are hidden. 4 lines technically, but it's 2 different sections. So to get the first section, you're going to want to step foot on the island. That's how you get the first section, and it will tell you where to go. Now, depending on how well you know the island and how big the island is, this may take a little bit more time. Seeing as we have only 1 quest, we're probably going to get a really nice chest from this. There are lots of different types of chests in the game, and depending on the type of chest, it will go for more or less coins. Okay, so we are arriving at the island, and what you're going to want to do is there's 3 ways of putting yourself in a good spot for the island. The first and really well used option, if you have a crew of 2, is you're going to want to raise the sails until you get that little hook there to be there. Just checking there's no ships nearby. I'm going to turn it up. So something else you can do is you can douse the lanterns. That way you don't have as much of a light exposure. That way it's harder for other ships in the game to find you. And that is a cannon from a skeleton crew. And we want to go because I do not want to be interested in getting shot at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dock us. So that just hit our bottom deck. So I'm going to get us just over here. I'm going to raise this all the way up to about there. That way we're now going really slow and we're going to be turning a lot more. So I'm going to put us down right over here by the sand. If you get shot at by cannons, it's probably best to move yourself to the other side of the island or some other side where the cannons can't actually hit you. So we're right here. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to lower my anchor. I'm going to raise this up all the way. That way we are no longer getting pushed. Ta-da! You've got yourself in a really good spot to find stuff. Now, if the cannon did hit us, there will be a hole and it's going to be spilling out water. You're going to want to grab wood from your barrel and you're going to want to patch it. So we can't patch anything right now. But if the cannon did hit me, you want to do that. And then whatever water's left once you patch it, you're going to want to scoop up. Somehow there was something. Doesn't make sense. And you want to just toss it off the boat. And you're just going to keep doing that. Like, see, there's nothing here. I probably picked it up from this water barrel, but that is a good example of how that works. You can adjust your stuff that is currently equipped. So if I want, let's say, a shotgun, click on that, and it'll tell you what to replace. But I'm going to go sword and pistol because that's what I prefer. You can refill your ammo using this. And now you want to get yourself on the island. So you can do this on the edge of the ship, and you'll put yourself right on the island. If you're farther away, it'll take you some time. So now we stepped foot on the island, right? So now the quest should show a new layer. Now be careful of skeletons. That is one thing you do want to be extremely careful of when you're working. So someone left a chest here, which is another thing you can get loot for. So I'm just going to go put this on our ship. So sometimes you'll find chests on the island that aren't part of your quest. Now these things can be varying in price depending on what's inside of them. So you want to put this down, you want to open it. And there's nothing in here. See? So you just want to close it, you can leave it there. So if you get any trinkets or stuff, you can put them in there so that you don't have to make multiple trips when you try to sell stuff. Or you can leave them for someone else to find. So let us find this. Seek the watcher over the East Sea and solve with a shanty. So, East Sea, get your compass out, and East Sea. And it's a watcher over, so it's probably going to be up there. So, you're going to find your way up there, and it's probably going to be an eye of some kind, and you can find paintings on rocks. So, boom, there it is. There's an eye on a rock. And it's over the east side of the sea. So, solve with a shanty. So, you're going to hit more items, and you're just going to play a tune. And that'll happen. So now, sometimes skeletons may or may not spawn. This is the part you want to be careful about. From the sunstone in the bay, 7 paces. So you first want to separate this. So find the sunstone. So you're now going to find the sunstone, which of course is in the bay. That's what it said. Now that is the sound of some ghosts. And you're gonna probably die to these guys. These guys are difficult to kill, to an extent. The ones with guns are even worse. Now, you can take varying levels of fall damage and still survive, but you're probably going to want to find something to eat while you're working. Now, I am not where I want to be. So you will get lost on an island. Just remember to retrace your footsteps and you'll find your way out. Or follow the light. So, ta-da, we followed the light, and we're out. Now it says Sunstone in the bay, so it's probably over here. I'm gonna check this again. Sunstone in the bay. So this is the bay, and it says Sunstone, which means it's probably a rock of some kind. Now this is the difficult part of the quest. If you don't know where you're going, things can get very difficult. Very. So you're just going to have to run around a bit, try to find it. Sometimes the ghosts will try to kill you. If they have a shotgun, you're probably screwed. Or they'll put them away and you just get really lucky. So you also find docks with people on them. So something you want to be careful of is these things right here. One wrong shot and it's over for you. Let me demonstrate. You can sell these, of course, but that will happen. So be very careful when handling those. This is the Sunstone, apparently, which I'm now realizing. And it says 7 paces south by southeast, or south-southeast. So, south, right, is this way. South by southeast. So you're going to look at that, and it says 7 paces. So you're going to put it up in 7 paces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ta-da, you're right here. You grab your shovel. Boom. You found a chest. And it's a crap chest. Oh, wait, no. Oh, you're going to get something for this. So, sometimes the chests will look like this. And it's a treasure chest, which if you open, offers gold and a trinket. So you're going to pick this up. And the trinket will probably sell for around about 500 gold, depending on what it is. Sometimes, though, trinkets will sell for much less. So this chest is a random chest. It will spawn with varying items inside, depending on the quest. Normally, you want chests that you can't open, because those ones are the ones that are selling for a good amount. So that right there is a merchant item. So let me put this on the ship, and I'll show you what that is. So normally, what you can do is you can harpoon stuff. If you can do it right, like I am failing at. Ta-da, you hooked it. And look, it is fruit crate. So you can pick it up. You can either fill it up with fruit and get more gold for it, or you can leave it as is. And you can sell it to the merchants. You can also use your compass, not the compass, spyglass, and find any other stuff on the island. Most stuff will be glinting. If it's not glinting, probably not worth grabbing. So, you grabbed it, so you want to raise your anchor, and you probably want to go back, depending on the loot you got. So, you want to raise your anchor, and if you remember the way you came, you can totally do that. Or you can check your map, uncircle that, circle the outpost. You don't have to circle everything, but it's good to do. And you're just going to head your way on back. Lower it slightly so that you get some movement going, or lower it all the way. Both options work. So now the wind is favoring us on the return, so we will be going back to the outpost with much more speed than we did before. There's a bunch of stuff around the map which I will not go into depth with. This is a episode where I'm just going to talk about the basics of the game, which is of course starting quests and finishing quests, and also just making yourself look cool, because that's probably a good priority to have. So now, the cannon may or may not be an issue in this section of the game. So as we go past it, just be cautious, one could say. Get your heading, and just head on back, and make sure that you don't get shot up. Now, if you run into sand or some other various land-based object, you will cause a hole in your boat, and you will want to patch that. And those are normally more devastating than they can, because the cannon... Oh, wait. I want to grab that. Nah, I think it's just an ammo chest. Not worth it. So that cannon almost hit. It's good to check though. Notice how there's nothing there, as we're probably out of range. But it's good to always check when the cannon fires at you to make sure it doesn't hit you. When they're that close, definitely worth checking. It will make a distinct sound though. If this hits, I can demonstrate. Please hit me. Why are these guys getting so close? Ah, nah, they missed. So yeah, it'll make a very loud noise, and it'll sound like a bunch of stuff breaking and wood just dropping on the floor. And that is normally what you're gonna wanna hear for and listen out. Because if you hear that, get some wood, start patching. Something that you'll wanna do if you're fighting a ship is have one person steering, one person on cannons, and then if you get damaged, either have the person on the wheel go patch, so the person on the cannon can keep firing, or have the person on the cannon go repair. If you want to prioritize staying alive, instead of trying to beat the other team, have the cannoneer do it. If you're more prioritized on trying to beat the enemy ship, get off the wheel, go fix it, go back on the wheel. But before you get off the wheel, make sure you're going in a direction that is not into a rock. Because of course you don't want to run into that in the middle of a fight, because that will just basically leave you free for killing. If you find skeleton ships trying to shoot you, and you can beat them, do it, because they will drop loot. However, if you have a lot of loot on hand and you're just a solo shipman, crewman, I'm not sure what the wording is, it probably won't be worth your time to try to beat it if you have loot on board as well. But if you don't have any loot on board, go for it, chap. You got it. So now we're arriving close to the outpost, and you're going to want to dock. As you can see, the outpost is normally signified by some kind of structure on the island. Now of course, most professional players, not professional, but ones that have a lot of time spent on the game, will have their gold hoarder quests up to basically extreme levels of numbers on XP. Of course this is a new account for me, because I deleted my old one, because I felt like it. So, you'll of course be lower level, and you have to start over again, which means you won't be receiving as much gold as everyone else, because, you know, quests won't be giving you as much gold. But yeah, so you're going to want to either find the dock, or find where you can sell stuff at. So, of course, the dock is on the other side of the island, so we can take our time with this one. Try to get close to the island so that we don't get lost here. And we're just gonna either dock this. You can either, if this is like your final game, right, you're just about done, you want to get off the moment you sell this stuff, you can beach this ship. You can just go right onto the island. Don't worry about repairing that, just get your loot off. So there's the dock. I'm now going to raise this up to quartermast. So you want to bring that up and up to there. And now you're going to be moving significantly slower, one could say. And you want to swing out wide, because as you turn, you will be getting extremely more gyroscopic motion, I think is a word. And you're just going to keep moving. This will take some time, but if it's not your final round of the game, it's definitely worth taking your time on. If there's no ships around, go for it. If there's ships around, you don't have to be careful about it. But normally, if you have a lot of stuff on board, you do want to dock it as best as you can. So you're just going to swing on by. The lantern has passed the dock, so you can start to turn. Once your front end has hit the dock, you can lower your anchor. Now, I overshot it, but I am still in a good spot where I can jump on and off the dock with these. So I'm going to open the chest that has something in it. So if you sell it with something in it, it's not recommended you do that, because the stuff inside may or may not get sold. That's not something I'm trying to test here. So the chests and the loot inside can probably be sold to the gold hoarders, depending on what it is, of course. Most of the time you sell it to the gold hoarders though. So you're going to drop your chest, open it, so it's gold, probably worth selling to this guy, right? And you'll receive your gold for it. That one was worth 450. You now close the chest, and you can sell it, or you keep it, depending on what you want to do, to this guy, and you'll get some pretty good gold for it too. 394. So that's basically almost the exact same as what was inside of it. I've got 2. So of course I failed that jump because my spacebar just broke on me for whatever reason. So before you sell any treasure chests, I do highly recommend you open it before you sell it to make sure that you don't sell something you don't want to sell. You can of course keep your treasure chests in case you do end up going on another quest and there's a bunch of trinkets, you could say. So you want to drop this, open it, check there's nothing inside, close it, pick it up, sell. Boom. 300 more gold right there. And now of course, as you did see, my reputation with the gold hoarders did go up when I sold the trinket. So we're going to pretend I made that jump. So now here's the interesting thing. You can either fill this up, so it's 26 out of 50, so you can go check your food crate. You don't have enough because it's only 32. And I mean, you can fill it up, but it's not worth it. But I'm going to do it anyway just to demonstrate. So this will also take you some time to do, believe it or not. So you can open it, you can put your stuff inside. I highly recommend doing your bottom barrel first so that you know where all your food is at. Now the one issue with this, of course, is that you will probably end up running out of food stores on your ship. So if you get into a fight, you'll probably run out of food and you won't be able to heal. But that's not overly concerning if you're not interested in getting into a fight. If you're interested in getting into a fight, don't fill this up all the way. So I'm going to leave that top barrel open. And what you can do is you can grab food from the remaining barrels on the island. So I'm missing 4. So I'm just going to hop over to the island. And, ooh, barrels right there. So you're going to put this down. You're going to head over here. Check inside. Boom, there's food. You can sell it. What do you want to sell? Probably stuff that you don't want to eat. Leeches. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna probably put those away because I'm not interested in eating those at all. There's some food in this barrel, plus some cannonballs. So normally when you want to set sail, so this is full, I can sell it to this person. Ta-da! Almost 1,000 gold right there. My reputation probably just went up by doing that. You can check your reputation, of course.
You should be.
And look, I'm now level 5 with them, so I can, of course, buy this. And what will happen is now you'll get better quests from this group. Skulls you can sell to that person. So skulls are very unique as you have to sell each one individually to this person over here. And there's different types of skulls, but it's not something you want to do solo because you'll die a lot. So this guy I'm now level 20 with, so I'm going to purchase this. And of course, now there's more quests. So that is how you play the game. The basics.
Get gold for everyone.
So hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you want me to do more of these, or just play more Sea of Thieves, or just make more videos, because it helps my channel a lot, and also I like doing this. So okay, I'll catch you all next time. This has been Sergeant Shotgun.